There are two completely different things hiding under the word AI right now, and mixing them up is quietly costing people time, money, and working systems. One is automation, the other is an agent. They look similar from the outside. They are not the same tool. Use automation where you needed an agent, and the thing breaks the moment reality gets messy. Use an agent where simple automation would do, and you've built something slow, expensive, and unpredictable for no reason. Today, the real difference and exactly when to reach for each. Start with automation because it's older and simpler. Automation is fixed rules. This happens, then that happens. A trigger fires, a defined sequence runs, a predictable output appears. Every single time, the same way. Its superpower is exactly that predictability. It's fast, it's cheap, it's reliable, and you always know what it will do. There's no thinking involved. And that's a feature, not a flaw. For the right job, you don't want creativity. You want the same correct thing 1,000 times without fail. So where does automation shine? Repetitive, stable, high-volume work where the rules don't change. Moving data from here to there. Sending the same sequence when a known event happens. Formatting, sorting, routing. If a task is predictable and you can write down the rules, automation is almost always the right answer. And reaching for a fancy AI agent instead is over-engineering. Here's the rule of thumb. If you can fully describe the steps in advance, automate it. Don't bring judgment to a job that doesn't need any. Now the cliff edge. Automation has zero judgment. The instant something shows up that the rules didn't anticipate, it either stops dead or does the wrong thing with total confidence. Edge cases, ambiguity, anything that needs a decision rather than a lookup. The real world is full of exceptions and rigid rules shatter on them. This is where people pile rule on top of rule trying to cover every case and end up with a brittle monster that breaks anyway. When you hit that wall, you don't need more rules. You need judgment. That's where agents come in. An agent isn't given the steps. It's given a goal, the tools to pursue it, and the freedom to decide how. It assesses the situation, chooses an action, sees the result, and adjusts. Where automation follows a path, an agent finds one. It can handle inputs nobody scripted for because it's reasoning toward an outcome rather than executing a fixed list. That flexibility is the whole point, and also why it's slower, costlier, and less predictable than automation. Power and predictability are a trade-off. So when is that trade-off worth it? When the work involves ambiguity, judgment, or conditions that keep changing. Researching an open question, handling requests that never arrive in the same shape twice, making a call based on context rather than a rule. If you cannot write the steps down in advance because they depend on what the agent finds along the way, that's an agent's job. The messier and more variable the task, the more an agent earns its higher cost. Use that power where rigid rules would shatter, not where they'd have worked fine. Here's what the people getting real leverage actually build. Not one or the other, both in the right places. Deterministic automation forms the rails, the predictable, high-volume plumbing that should never vary. The agent rides on top, making the judgment calls the rails can't. Automation handles the always do this. The agent handles the it depends. Together you get a system that's reliable where it must be and adaptive where it has to be. Picking a side is the beginner mistake. The architecture is knowing which one each part of the job needs. So, automation is fixed rules for predictable work. An agent is judgment for unpredictable work. One isn't better than the other. They're for different jobs, and the skill is matching the tool to the task. Get that right, and you stop fighting your own systems. That's the difference between using AI and engineering leverage with it. If that's how you want to think, subscribe. It's the whole channel, one system at a time. And if you want help drawing that line in your own setup, that's what we do at ectd.com.au. See you in the next one.